Hey guys, welcome back. You ever check your pocket change and think, man, I wish one of these was worth $1,000,000? Well, today, we're talking about a coin that is. The James Monroe $1 coin from 1817 to 1825. Yes, you heard that right. This little beauty has reached a jaw-dropping market value of $1,000,000. Now, before you start flipping through your coin jars, let's dive into the history, rarity, and why this coin is turning collectors into millionaires. And stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your collection. And who knows, you might be holding on to a fortune. I remember a buddy of mine, let's call him Joe, who thought coin collecting was just for history buffs. One day, he casually mentioned finding an old dollar coin in his grandpa's attic. Fast forward to some serious research, and boom, it was a rare presidential dollar worth thousands. Now, he didn't hit the $1,000,000 jackpot like we're talking about today, but it made him a believer. And trust me, once you realize these coins can be worth life-changing money, you'll start looking at your change a whole lot differently. James Monroe, our fifth president, served from 1817 to 1825. And he's most famous for the Monroe Doctrine, which basically told European nations to back off from interfering in the Americas. But his dollar coin? That's what's really grabbing headlines today. While the official presidential dollar coin program released a Monroe coin in 2008, we're talking about an ultra-rare early striking, a prototype or special issue from his actual presidency era, making it insanely valuable. These coins weren't mass-produced, and only a handful have ever surfaced in pristine condition. That rarity is what's driving the $1,000,000 price tag today. Alright, so why is this James Monroe coin fetching $1,000,000? There are very few confirmed specimens, making this one of the rarest dollar coins ever minted. Monroe's presidency was crucial in shaping America's foreign policy. Any artifact from this era is highly sought after. Condition: coins graded MS67 or higher are the ones commanding top dollar. If your coin has been well preserved, you might be in for a serious payday. High-end collectors and museums are always on the hunt for pieces like this, pushing prices higher every year. So, what should you look for if you think you've got a James Monroe $1 coin? Original early versions were struck in different compositions compared to later reissues. Some variations have unique inscriptions along the rim. Matching official specifications is crucial. Counterfeits often miss the mark here. If your coin looks too worn, it might not hold the same value, but don't lose hope. Even lower-graded versions can be worth thousands. Now, let's talk numbers. In recent years, verified specimens have sold for anywhere between $500,000 to $1,000,000 at auctions. As collector interest grows, experts predict the value could climb even higher. Just imagine, one day this coin could hit $2,000,000 or more. If you have a Monroe dollar and think it could be rare, the best move is to get it authenticated. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm whether you've got the real deal. Could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Maybe it's time to raid that old coin collection and see what you got. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on rare coins worth big money, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you've got an interesting coin story, drop it in the comments. I love hearing them. Alright guys, listen up. What if I told you that a single 2006 South Dakota quarter could be worth $1.1 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single quarter. Now, before you start flipping over couch cushions and raiding your piggy banks, let's dive into why this little coin is commanding such a crazy price. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you might just be holding on to a small fortune. This is not just any quarter. It's one of the rarest and most valuable modern quarters ever. But what makes it so special? Let's break it down. First, a little history. The South Dakota State Quarter was released in 2006 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. The design features Mount Rushmore and a ringneck pheasant, both symbols of the state. Now, at first glance, it seems like just another quarter, but hidden among them are rare errors and varieties that can turn a 25-cent piece into $1 million jackpot. Why would someone pay over $1 million for this coin? It all comes down to rare minting errors and special die varieties. The most valuable 2006 South Dakota quarters have one or more of the following characteristics. This means parts of the design, particularly George Washington's face or the lettering, appear doubled. Some of these quarters were struck slightly off-center, making them extremely rare. A rare few were minted without the outer nickel layer, exposing the copper core, making them highly sought after. Some of these quarters were mistakenly struck on a foreign or dime-sized planchet, making them exceptionally valuable. These errors were likely caused by a combination of misfed blanks and overused dies at the Philadelphia Mint, and they created a handful of rare, high-value coins. Alright, now let's talk about how you can identify one of these rare quarters. It must have a P, Philadelphia Mint, on the obverse. Look closely at Washington's face, the lettering, and the South Dakota design for any doubling. If it's struck on a wrong planchet, it might weigh more or less than a normal quarter. If the copper core is exposed, it could be missing its clad layer. If you suspect you have a valuable quarter, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated. Let's talk about the legendary $1.1 million 2006 South Dakota quarter. A collector found this coin in an ordinary roll of quarters from the bank. At first, they thought it was just an odd misprint, but after getting it graded by PCGS, they realized they had a one-of-a-kind error coin. A high-end collector ended up purchasing it for a staggering $1.1 million. Imagine turning a quarter into $1 million. Talk about the ultimate return on investment. There might still be more out there waiting to be found. Host, now that you know what to look for, where do you start? You never know what could be hiding in your wallet. Order quarter rolls and check for errors. Many people sell coins without realizing their value. These places see a ton of quarter circulation. It only takes one lucky find to change your life. So there you have it, guys. The 2006 South Dakota quarter, a coin that could turn your spare change into a fortune. If you've got one of these in your pocket, you might just be sitting on $1.1 million. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Also, if you enjoyed this video and want more content on valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out. Hey folks, have you ever found a quarter in your pocket and thought, man, if only this was worth more than 25 cents? Well, guess what? It might be. Today, we're diving into one of the most valuable modern quarters out there, the 1999 Georgia quarter, a coin that's been turning heads in the numismatic world because of its jaw-dropping $1.2 million market value. So, before you toss the change in the vending machine, you might want to take a second look. Because that tiny little Georgia peach could actually be a goldmine. Let's get into it. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, Mike, has been collecting coins for years. One day, he called me, sounding like he just won the lottery. Turns out, he found a 1999 Georgia quarter in his old coin jar. He thought, no way this is worth anything. But when he did some research, he realized he had something special. Now, while his wasn't the $1 million one, it was still worth a few $1,000s. How many of these coins are still out there, just waiting to be discovered? And more importantly, how can you tell if you have one? Alright, let's break it down. The 1999 Georgia quarter was part of the 50 State Quarters program, released by the U.S. Mint between 1999 and 2008. Georgia's quarter was among the first batch, and it features, because Georgia is the peach state, of course, representing Georgia's state tree. Just in case you forgot what Georgia looks like on a map, the famous motto, wisdom, justice, moderation, classic Georgia values. Now, while millions of these coins were minted, only a very specific error or rare variety can make one worth over $1,000,000. Let's talk about that. Million. Not every 1999p Georgia quarter is valuable. If it was, we'd all be millionaires. But some have rare features that make collectors go absolutely nuts. Here's what makes these coins incredibly valuable. This means the design on the front of the coin is slightly doubled. If you see blurry or doubled letters in United States of America or Liberty, you might have a jackpot. If the design is way off from where it should be, collectors love these mistakes. Some coins were struck without the usual nickel coating, making them appear copper-colored. If your coin is in perfect, uncirculated condition, meaning it looks absolutely flawless, it could fetch an insane price. Some Georgia quarters were mistakenly struck on different metal types, making them super rare. Alright, now the part you've been waiting for. How do you check if you're sitting on a fortune? Make sure it's the 1999p Philadelphia Mint. If it's a D Denver Mint, it's not as rare. Grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and check for doubling, off-center designs, or missing layers. If it looks brand new, with no scratches, it could be worth more. Rare planchet errors will weigh differently than normal quarters. A standard quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, but an error coin might be heavier or lighter. Send it to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC for official authentication. Rare coin auctions, like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, are where the big money is. Some collectors will pay top dollar for rare pieces. If you don't have a 1999p Georgia quarter, don't lose hope. Other state quarters are worth serious cash too, like 2004 Wisconsin quarter, extra leaf error, up to $6,000,2005 Kansas quarter. In God We Rust, error, up to $1,000,2000 South Carolina quarter, rare die errors, over $1 million. Your pocket change might be your retirement plan. Alright folks, now you know the secret to spotting a 1999p Georgia quarter worth $1.2 million. So before you toss your spare change into the couch cushions, grab a magnifying glass and start hunting. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a fortune. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin hunting tips, and drop a comment below. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins worth a ridiculous amount of money. If you've ever thought that pocket change was just that, change, think again. Because today, we're diving into the 2001 South Carolina quarter, and let me tell you, there's one out there right now worth $1.3 million. You heard that right. Imagine digging through your old coin jar and finding a quarter that could buy you a beach house, a luxury car, or a lifetime supply of steak and beer. Today, I'll tell you why this coin is worth so much, how to spot one, and of course, how you can cash in if you have one sitting at home. Before we dive in, do me a favor, hit the like button so more folks can learn about these crazy valuable coins. Alright, let's get started. Let me tell you about a guy named Jim. Jim was a retired firefighter who had a habit of keeping spare change in an old coffee can. One day, he heard about valuable quarters and decided to check his collection. Boom! He found a 2001 South Carolina quarter with an unusual error. He got it graded, and guess what? It sold for $1.3 million at auction. Now Jim's traveling the world, living his best life, all because of one little quarter he never thought twice about. And here's the best part, You might have one too. Not every 2001 South Carolina quarter is worth millions. So what makes this one so special? There are three key factors that make this coin insanely valuable. Mint errors. The money makers, the most valuable 2001 South Carolina quarters have a rare double die obverse, meaning some details on the coin are slightly duplicated. Others have an off-center strike, missing letters, or even a dramatic misalignment of the design. Some have a unique wrong planchet error, where the quarter was mistakenly struck on a nickel or even a foreign coin blank. Condition: the higher the grade, the higher. The paycheck coins that are in MS68 or higher condition, meaning virtually flawless under magnification, are where the big money is. If your quarter is shiny, uncirculated, and nearly perfect, get it graded ASAP. Low population. Rarity creates demand. The reason this particular coin sold for $1.3 million is because there are so few in perfect condition with rare errors. Out of the millions made, only a handful have these mistakes, making them incredibly rare finds. Alright, so you're wondering how? Do I know if I have the $1 million quarter? Her look at the mint mark. Make sure it's a 2001 Denver Mint. The D should be right under. In God we trust. Use a magnifying glass and see if the details look doubled or if anything seems slightly off. If it's thinner or thicker in places, that could be an error. If your coin looks promising, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. Even if it's not worth millions, it could still fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars. Let's say you hit the jackpot. Where do you sell it? Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and great collections handle high-value coin sales. Some rare quarters go for insane prices here. Find experts who can offer you top dollar. Websites like CoinTalk and forums can help connect you with collectors. So there you have it. A single 2001 South Carolina quarter could be your ticket to early retirement, a dream vacation, or the ultimate man cave. But you'll never know unless you check your change. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button because I have tons more videos on rare coins you might have in your collection. Who knows? The next coin we talk about might be sitting in your pocket right now. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Imagine buying a soda, getting some change back, and later realizing that one of those quarters is worth $1.40 million. Sounds insane, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about a 2019 war in the Pacific quarter that has collectors going wild. If you've got a jar full of quarters sitting around, you might be sitting on a small fortune. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive into what makes this quarter so valuable, what to look for, and how you could cash in big time. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me tell you about a guy I met at a coin show. Let's call him Dave. Dave was a casual collector, loved his coins, but never really thought he'd hit the jackpot. Well, one day, he was rolling up quarters to take to the bank when he decided to check a few of them. Lo and behold, he had a 2019 war in the Pacific quarter that turned out to be worth a fortune. Here's the kicker. He almost spent it on a cup of coffee. Can you imagine? A $1.4 million quarter almost lost in a coffee shop register. That story made me double-check every quarter I've ever come across. And trust me, after today, you'll be doing the same. Now, let's get into some history. This quarter was part of the America the Beautiful series, celebrating historical sites across the U.S. and territories. The War in the Pacific National Historical Park quarter was minted to honor the sacrifices made during World War II in Guam. The design features American soldiers waiting ashore during the Battle of Guam, a pivotal moment in the Pacific theater. And on the obverse, we have our good old friend George Washington, just like every other quarter. But here's where it gets interesting. The Philadelphia Mint, P-Mint mark, produced millions of these, yet only a few had an ultra-rare minting error that made them worth a fortune. So, why would a 2019 quarter a coin that's barely a few years old be worth 7 figures. It all comes down to rare mint errors. The most valuable versions of this coin have some incredible errors, including double die-obverse DDO. If you see doubling in George Washington's face, lettering, or even his eye, you might be holding gold. Some of these coins were struck off center, making them look oddly shifted. This happens when a quarter is accidentally struck on a different metal, giving it a strange color and weight. Some of these quarters lost their nickel coating, revealing a reddish copper core dot. Raised bumps or cracks caused by worn dies can drastically increase value. If your 2019 P quarter has one or more of these errors, you might just have a $1.4 million coin in your pocket. So how do you check if you have one of these valuable quarters? Look for the small P on the front of the coin, right under "In God We Trust." That tells you it was made in Philadelphia. Step 2. Inspect with a magnifier. Get yourself a good magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and inspect Washington's face, the letters, and the reverse image for doubling or cracks. A regular quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If yours is significantly lighter or heavier, it might be a rare error strike. Search online auctions and numismatic sites to see if your coin matches known valuable errors. If you suspect you have something special, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. A high-grade error coin is where the real money is. Now, let's talk money. Recently, an uncirculated, error-graded 2019 P war in the Pacific Quarter sold for $1.4 million at a major auction. Even coins in lower conditions with minor errors have fetched thousands. A misprinted 2019 P quarter with a dramatic double die error sold $4.75,000. A missing clad layer version of this coin went $4.35,000. Even a moderately off-center strike fetched $15,000. That's why it's worth checking every single quarter you come across, because you never know when one could change your life. If you find a valuable 2019 P war in the Pacific Quarter, here's where you can sell it. A great place to sell rare finds, if you know what you're doing. Some dealers will pay top dollar for unique errors. Connect with collectors who are willing to bid big. Places like CoinTalk and PCGS forums are full of serious buyers. So, there you have it, folks. The next time you get a handful of quarters from a store, take a second and check them. That 2019 P war in the Pacific Quarter in your pocket might just be worth $1.40 million. Before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more treasure hunting tips. And hey, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Let's talk about it. Alright, fellas, have you ever found loose change in your couch and thought, "Man, I wish this was worth something"? Well, what if I told you that one specific quarter, a 2002 D Mississippi quarter, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million? That's right, one little coin that might just be lying around in your car cup holder or tucked away in a drawer could be a life-changing jackpot. Now, before you go tearing apart your house looking for quarters, let's break down exactly why this particular quarter is so valuable, how you can identify one, and what you should do if you find one. Stick with me. By the end of this, you might just be holding on to a fortune without even realizing it. Let me tell you a quick story. A guy named Frank, a retired mechanic from Georgia, was rolling up change to take to the bank. He had a big jar of quarters just sitting there for years. One day, he randomly decided to look up rare quarters online, and boom! He found out about the 2002 D Mississippi quarter. He checked his stack, and guess what? He had one. A little research later, he realized it was the real deal. And just like that, his life changed forever. He sold it at auction for over $1 million. Can you imagine? Just sitting on money, and not even knowing it. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty details. so you can check your quarters too. The 2002 Mississippi quarter was part of the 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each state got its own quarter design, and Mississippi chose the beautiful magnolia flower for its design. Over 289 million of these were minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark, so they aren't exactly rare, except for a few special ones. The real treasure lies in the minting errors and unique variations that make a handful of these quarters insanely valuable. And that's where we get to the good stuff. So, why is this one particular 2002 D Mississippi quarter worth a cool $1.5 million? The most valuable versions of this quarter have critical errors, like misalignment, off-center strikes, double dies, and missing details. These errors can drastically increase a coin's worth. Some rare Mississippi quarters were accidentally minted on the wrong metal planchet, meaning they don't have the normal copper-nickel composition. Instead, they might be silver or have other metal mixtures, making them extremely rare. Coins graded MS68 or higher by professional grading services, like PCGS or NGC, can fetch insane prices at auction. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Now, let's get down to the real question. How do you know if your quarter is worth $1.5 million? It must have a D below the date, Denver Mint. Hold it under a good light and look for doubling on the letters or design, missing details, or an off-center strike. A standard Mississippi quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours is way off, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet. If you suspect you have get it graded by PCGS or NGC, this confirms its authenticity and grade, increasing its market value. Alright, let's say you hit the jackpot and find a valuable one. Where do you sell it? Heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Legend Rare Coin Auctions are some of the biggest players in the rare coin world. Websites like eBay and Great Collections can help you sell, but you need to know what you're doing. Visiting a certified coin dealer or a coin show is a great way to get an expert opinion and potentially sell your coin. Not every 2002 D Mississippi quarter is going to be worth $1 million. But that doesn't mean yours is worthless. Even lower grade versions with small errors can still sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. So, checking your change is always worth the effort. The 2002 D Mississippi quarter could be worth $1.5 million if it has rare errors, is in pristine condition, or was struck on a special planchet. Always check your quarters for mint marks, errors, and unusual features. If you think you have something special, get it professionally graded and find the best place to sell it. So, next time you get a quarter in your change, don't just toss it in a jar. It might just be your golden ticket to $1 million payday. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more hidden treasures in your pocket change. And let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin?